You don't own things anymore. You rent convenience from 19 different companies and call it adulthood. Your music is rented. Your movies are rented. Your storage is rented. Your fitness plan is rented. Your software is rented. Your grocery delivery is rented. Your meditation app is rented. Your blue checkmark is rented. Even your ability to remove ads from the thing you already paid for is somehow also rented. Modern life did not become simpler. It became a dashboard. And somewhere inside that dashboard, there is a forgotten free trial quietly wearing your debit card like a tiny vampire cape. The strange part is, subscriptions were supposed to save us. They arrived as the clean, elegant alternative to ownership. Why buy DVDs when you could stream everything? Why buy software in a box when the latest version could simply appear? Why own a gym DVD, a meditation CD, a recipe book, a newspaper, a file cabinet, and 100 random gadgets, when one small monthly payment could replace them all? At first, it felt like freedom. No clutter, no commitment, no giant upfront cost, just access. But access has a funny little catch. When you stop paying, it disappears, and that is the quiet bargain of the subscription economy. You get convenience now, and the company gets a tiny piece of your future self. Not a lot, just $7.99, or $12.99, or $19.99. Small enough to ignore, big enough to matter, invisible enough to survive. That is the magic trick. A subscription does not feel like a purchase. It feels like a permission slip. And because the amount is small, your brain files it under. Not worth thinking about. This is why a $5 coffee can make you feel irresponsible, but a forgotten $14.99 subscription can sit on your bank statement for 8 months like it owns the place. Because coffee is physical. You remember holding it. A subscription is abstract. It arrives silently, once a month, in the financial fog between rent, groceries, bills, taxes, and that one mystery charge you swear you canceled in 2023. And businesses know this. In the old economy, companies had to convince you to buy again. In the subscription economy, they only have to convince you once. After that, inertia does the sales pitch. This is the first rule of the model. The best customer is not always the happiest customer. Sometimes it is the customer who is mildly annoyed, but not annoyed enough to log in. That is the entire emotional architecture of modern subscriptions. You tolerate the price increase. You tolerate the ads. You tolerate the downgraded plan. You tolerate the bundle. You tolerate the app redesign that somehow made everything worse. You tolerate it because cancellation requires a decision, and modern life is already a buffet of tiny decisions served on a plate made of stress. So you stay, not because you are loyal, because you are tired. And that is where the subscription economy gets interesting. It doesn't just sell products, it sells relief from thinking. Take streaming. The original promise was beautiful. Escape cable. No contracts, no bloated packages, no paying for 80 channels just to watch 3 shows and one oddly addictive home renovation marathon. Streaming was the rebellion. Then every company looked at Netflix and thought, wait, we also enjoy money. So the great unbundling began. Movies went one way, sitcoms went another, sports moved behind new paywalls, old favorites migrated like confused birds. Suddenly, to watch the same amount of television, you needed a spreadsheet, 4 passwords, 3 email addresses, and the emotional stamina of a tax accountant. Then came streamflation. Prices went up. Ad-free tiers became premium. Password sharing got restricted. Bundles returned. The thing built to replace cable started slowly dressing like cable, but with better branding and more password resets. And because each price increase is usually small, it rarely triggers a financial emergency. $1 here, $2 there. A plan change, a premium tier, a sports add-on, a delivery membership, cloud storage because your phone has become a museum of screenshots, a productivity app because you are absolutely going to become a better person this quarter. Individually, these payments are harmless. Together, they become a quiet second rent, not for a home, for habits. This is the second rule of the subscription economy. It turns identity into a monthly payment. You are not just paying for a music app. You are paying to be the kind of person who has the perfect playlist. You are not just paying for a fitness app. You are paying for the version of yourself who wakes up early, drinks water, stretches, journals, and definitely does not eat cereal over the sink at midnight. You're not just paying for an AI tool, a design tool, a language app, a budgeting app, or a meditation app. You are paying rent on a possible future self. That is why canceling feels weirdly personal. When you cancel a streaming service, you are not just losing shows, you are admitting you are not watching them. When you cancel the gym app, you are not just saving money. You are breaking up with the person you plan to become. And companies understand this emotional friction beautifully. They don't need to trap you with chains. They just need to make cancellation feel like failure. Are you sure you want to lose your progress? Your benefits will end today. Your files may be deleted. You'll miss exclusive access. Here is a sad little graphic of a cartoon animal holding a box. This is not customer service. This is a tiny hostage negotiation with your optimism. But here's the strange part. The subscription economy also works because we genuinely like it. That's what makes it complicated. Subscriptions can be useful. They lower upfront costs. They keep products updated. They let people access tools, entertainment, and services that would have been expensive or impossible before. For a student, a monthly software plan can be better than a $600 license. For a family, streaming can still be more flexible than cable. For creators, subscriptions can provide steady income. For businesses, recurring revenue makes planning easier. The problem is not the existence of subscriptions. The problem is that everything wants to become one. A razor is not just a razor, it's a replenishment ecosystem. A doorbell is not just a doorbell, it's a cloud video plan. A car feature is not just a feature, it's a potential monthly upgrade. A printer is not just a printer, it is a spiritually hostile relationship with ink. At some point, the subscription model escaped media and software and started looking at every object in your house like a landlord. And the reason is obvious. Ownership is unpredictable. Subscriptions are beautiful. Not beautiful for you necessarily, beautiful for the spreadsheet. Investors love recurring revenue because it is smoother, stickier, and easier to forecast. A one-time sale ends, a subscription continues, a product becomes a relationship, a customer becomes lifetime value. That phrase sounds nice until you realize you are the lifetime. This is the third rule. In the subscription economy, forgetting is a feature, not a bug. Forgotten trials, unused memberships, bundled services you didn't know you had, annual plans that renew after 11 months of silence, apps you downloaded during one ambitious Sunday and never opened again. The business model does not require you to be foolish. It only requires you to be busy, and everyone is busy. Busy enough to miss the renewal email, busy enough to ignore the bank notification, busy enough to think, I'll cancel that later. Later is where subscriptions go to retire. We blame ourselves for this. We say, I'm bad with money. But that is too simple. The truth is, the modern consumer is fighting an entire industry designed around behavioral friction. Sign up is a red carpet. Cancellation is a maze with fluorescent lighting. Signing up takes one tap, one face scan, one cheerful button that says, start your journey. Canceling makes you remember your password, verify your email, reject 3 offers, answer why you're leaving, and confront a screen that says, your plan includes benefits you may not be aware of. Yes, that was the problem. We were not aware. Some regulators have noticed. In the United States, the FTC pushed for rules that would make canceling as easy as signing up. In Europe, consumer authorities have warned about subscription traps, especially free trials that quietly become recurring charges. But regulation is always chasing the model, because the model keeps evolving. When people get tired of too many subscriptions, companies create bundles, and bundles feel like savings. But they can also make the bill harder to understand. Your streaming service is bundled with your phone plan. Your delivery membership includes video. Your shopping membership includes music. Your credit card includes perks. Your internet provider includes a trial. Your trial includes a renewal. Your renewal includes a tiny line of text that nobody has read since the fall of Rome. The bundle is comforting because it reduces the number of decisions, but it also hides the true price. That is the emotional genius of the modern subscription economy. It does not ask, do you want this? It asks, would you like life to feel slightly easier for now? And who says no to that? We are not addicted to subscriptions because we love paying monthly bills. We are addicted because each one solves a small problem. Boredom, loneliness, disorganization, inconvenience, ambition, anxiety, the fear of missing out, the fear of falling behind, the fear that somewhere inside one of these apps, there is a better version of our life waiting behind a paywall. So we subscribe. And then we subscribe again and again, until one day we look at our bank statement and realize we are not buying products anymore. We are funding a museum of intentions. There is the language app from the month you were going to become worldly, the meal kit from the month you were going to become healthy, the meditation app from the month you were going to become peaceful, the productivity app from the month you were going to become unstoppable, the cloud storage from the month you refused to delete 14,000 blurry photos of a receipt, a dog, and the inside of your pocket. Every subscription tells a tiny story about who we wanted to be. That is why the paycheck disappears so quietly. It is not one villain. It is not one greedy company in a black cape laughing over your bank account. It is 1,000 small conveniences, each making a reasonable argument. And that is the uncomfortable truth. The subscription economy is not eating your paycheck because you are careless. It is eating your paycheck because it understands you. It understands that you are busy. It understands that you want flexibility. It understands that you hate admin. It understands that you will pay a little to avoid thinking a lot. And it understands that maybe later is one of the most profitable phrases in capitalism. So what do? The answer is not to cancel everything and move into the woods with a wind-up radio. Although, spiritually, some of us are closer than we'd like to admit. The answer is to treat subscriptions like relationships. Some deserve commitment, some are seasonal, some are toxic, and some were a mistake after 11 p.m. A useful subscription earns its place every month. Not once when you clicked a button during a free trial. Every month. Because the moment a company charges you repeatedly, it should have to justify itself repeatedly. That is the mindset shift. Not you, can I afford this? But would I choose this again today? That one question changes everything. Would I choose this again today? Would I pay for this app again today? Would I sign up for this service again today? Would I choose this bundle again today? Would I pay for ad-free convenience? Or have I simply become emotionally attached to not changing anything? This is where the power comes back, because subscriptions rely on passive consent, and passive consent is not the same as value. Your bank account should not be a storage unit for forgotten decisions. Your paycheck should not be nibbled to death by apps you haven't opened since the previous version of yourself was in charge. And adulthood should not mean renting back your own convenience in 12 separate installments. The final twist is that ownership was never just about having things, it was about closure. You bought something and the transaction ended, but subscriptions do not end, they linger, they renew, they follow you, they turn ordinary life into a permanent checkout page. So maybe the real luxury now is not owning everything. Maybe the real luxury is knowing exactly what you pay for and why. Because in a world where every company wants a monthly relationship with you, clarity becomes rebellion. And cancellation? Cancellation is not failure. Sometimes it is just self-respect with a confirmation email. So tonight, check your subscriptions. Not because you are cheap, because your attention is expensive. And if a company wants a piece of your future every month, it should have to earn more than your forgetfulness. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who has at least one free trial currently living rent-free in their bank account, which statistically and emotionally is all of us.
Bah, bah.